But we begin this show with what could be a pivotal few days over the crisis in Ukraine after the latest shelling in the eastern part of the country. Our Holly Williams was the only network reporter to visit a kindergarten allegedly hit by Russian-backed forces. The violence comes as the U.S. and NATO countries say Russia could be on the brink of invading Ukraine at any moment. Holly is now back in Kyiv, safely back in Kyiv, Ukraine's capital. Holly, good morning.
Good morning. There's been an escalation in violence in eastern Ukraine, where government forces have been fighting a war against Russian-backed separatists since 2014. Both sides are blaming each other. But this comes as the US claims Russia may have already begun a so-called false flag operation.
We flew with Ukraine's military to the country's far east, under 10 miles from the Russian border, to the village of Stanitsa Luhanska, where Ukraine says Russian-backed separatists fired heavy artillery into civilian areas yesterday, including this school, ironically named Fairy Tale Kindergarten, a place of innocence now shattered. Children would have had a lesson in the room that was hit just minutes later, according to Yulia Semenko, who works at the school.
When you look at the damage here, it must have been terrifying for the children that were inside this building.
We were told none of the students were hurt, but Ukraine says 3 adults were injured. Ukrainian soldiers showed us where they said another artillery shell hit in the playground.
There were no children here at the time.
Yeah, they all were inside building on the second floor.
In eastern Ukraine, government forces have been fighting Russian-backed separatists for nearly 8 years. A bloody conflict that's cost over 14,000 lives, according to Ukraine. But now, with nearly 160,000 Russian troops estimated to be massed along Ukraine's border, there are fears Russia could stage or provoke a violent incident as a pretext for invasion, a scenario the US claims may already have started.
We have reason to believe that they are engaged in a false flag operation to have an excuse to go in.
Some believe Russia's President Vladimir Putin is playing a high-stakes game of Cold War-style brinkmanship, using the threat of invasion, trying to extract concessions from the US and its allies. If that's true, it's a dangerous game. Civilians could pay with their lives.
President Putin will oversee military exercises tomorrow by his country's nuclear forces, including the launching of ballistic and cruise missiles. Russia says that shouldn't worry anyone. Vlad.
As the world collectively holds their breath. Holly Williams in Ukraine for us. Thank you very much.